you'd like, you could share a little hype in chat if you're here, because we are back. We're not only back, but I have two types of coffee with me. We're about to meet a coffee fanatic in Final Fantasy, and I have some pretty serious coffee hype right now. We should turn off my playlist that I turned on. I just love sharing my music. Oh, and if you're interested in the chat, actually, by the way, I actually have gone ahead and made a public library of all the music that I play on the stream. We're not hearing it today, but if you want, you can download all my music, and in theory, you could like use it on your stream, or you could just listen if you just want to listen without my voice. You can listen to all my music. Let me know, and I can hook you up with a link. Eventually, I'm gonna set it so that like if you just follow me, you get the link, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, you can have all the music if you're into it. Okay, now we'll go back to Final Fantasy. I think we should be totally good. I think that the game sound should be just about right. We'll turn it up slightly, just a hair. Turn it up, because it's supposed to be quiet. And this next place has the best theme in the whole game. The theme song of Dali is one of my favorite songs, and I'm working on it on piano. But yeah, it starts without sound. That's kind of cool too. Oh wait, I'm turning up my speakers as if it'll do anything. I want to go see the windmill. I want you to see it. I know, but let's get some rest first. This is seriously, we just came from the ice cavern, which is one of my least favorite parts of this game. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole game. No, but seriously, this part of the game is real. This part is so good. This whole segment and the song, so beautiful. We gotta turn a little more. Oh, let's close out of this. Sleeping on the job? Yo, dude, we're trying to get around. I'm sorry. This dude's freaking out. Hey, I know she's cute, but it's rude of you to stare. I wasn't looking at the young lady who's actually telling the truth. I was just... The room is right over there. Make yourselves at home. Sidine, where will I be staying? In the same room. Sidine, I mustn't. I understand how you must feel, but these country inns don't have private rooms. Yo, that's how I felt when I was in the military. For those of you who don't know, I was kicked out of my house when I was young, which is the story of so many trans people. I was talking earlier about how, like, my life, I feel like I am the trans narrative. And I had a really adverse set of childhood experiences, and so I joined the military. And I don't mean to harp on it right now, but like we had to go and bathe, like where there was like 60 people in one building, and of course I was with the wrong group of people, and so I felt like Dagger feels like now. Tell me one thing before we go to sleep. So they're all gonna share this room in this random town, but I think Zidane's been here before. I think a couple of them have been here before. No, maybe only Zidane. The theater ship hadn't crashed. It would have arrived at the neighboring regency of Lindblom, of course. You were gonna leave Alexandria? If I hadn't been caught, you would have reached Lindblom by now. But now we'll have to cross Southgate on foot. Oh, Zidane's still gonna help. So nice. I love Zidane. Border crossing, huh? Zidane, please listen. There is a reason I must leave this kingdom. I cannot tell you why, but please. I understand. I'll get you to Lindblom somehow. I love the word Lindblom. The way that it's like segmented. I love segmented words. If you listen to my favorite philosopher, let's pause this. I want to show you my favorite philosopher. Just because we're on a roll. I'm talking about segmented words. I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna just go to Terrence McKenna. I'm just gonna type in body. When he says body, it like he says it so weird.
Yeah, I think, well, it's not something I think. It's
Let's just
so
wait for him to say
that
body.
the body is an incredibly sensitive.
That he said it exactly like I thought he
That
would.
the body, something I think. It's so that the body.
I always think of that anytime I segment my words. Okay, back to the game. That was totally unnecessary. Body. I've heard enough. Princess, you cannot trust the words of a thief. He may expose you to even more danger, like he did in the evil forest. This music, though, right? I beg of you, princess, please, return with me to the castle. I know I screwed up in Evil Forest, but there's no doubt in my mind now. I'll protect Dagger with my life. Don't be ridiculous. It is I who protect the princess, now and forever. Then tell me, how do you intend to take her back to the castle? Huh? I'll think of a way. Yeah, right. And then Vivi's just passed out. This game. He was tired. Aren't we all just tired? He was tired. What a strong 3 words. And what an interesting part of the game. But you had to go on a tirade. This game is so good. This is my favorite Final Fantasy. It might be my favorite game of all time. What? Let's go to sleep. This game makes me want to cry, like every single scene. When they get to Black Mage Village later in the game, we're not gonna make it there tonight, but when we get there. Let's let the singing be heard. Oh, I already ruined it. That's okay. That's the name of the game. I never heard a song like that before. Was that Dagger singing? Oh, everyone's up already. I wonder where they're at. Okay. Definitely Vivi is confused. Oh, I love Vivi so much. Ouch, what's going on? Hey, you can't be here. You're something. I won't spoil it. Are they avoiding me? I wonder why they're avoiding Vivi. Have either of you in the chat, or anyone here, just at all, if there's people who haven't spoken, have you all gotten this far in the game on your runs? Because, we don't need to do that. Well, let's do it for fun. Let's do a fortune. This must be the color of fortunes. It was a big fad in Lindblom a few years back. We'll try it. A good omen! Nice. A good day filled with many of life's simple pleasures. A nice breeze will greet you as you step out. You will make new friends and replace a lost item with a new one. Be yourself and let good fortune come to you. Ah, I'm trying to be myself right now. My lucky color for today is green. You know, I almost wore a green sweater today, but I changed into this black one. It's having a lot of outfit indecision. Want to buy a gem in your lucky color? We have all colors. Come to our store in Lindblom's Theater District. We're located near the air cab terminal. Look for the big clock. I think I've heard of this store before. Yo, Zidane knows Lindblom. Kind of like I know the city I'm from. In D&D, there's like the urchin subclass or personality type urchin, and they can like run through cities quickly. And that's, I don't want to say exactly where I'm from, but I live near a very progressive metropolis, and it's like, I forget what I was even just saying about it. The word metropolis just like psyched me out. What a weird word. One of my friends used that to describe Istanbul recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, Istanbul is like, it's gotta be like living in the Matrix or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like 18 million people live there compared to where I live, which is like, it's like probably 20 times smaller. I don't know if it's in the 100,000s. It's probably close to 1 million people. Yo, man, I love the use of yo in this game. Man, I got totally iced up by some dude with wings on his back. Moogles are so good. Stiltskin, one of my favorite characters, passed me without doing anything. Is he rude or what? Of course, I couldn't say nothing because I was trapped inside the ice. So I don't know if you... Oh, you didn't make it to this point. Sorry it took me so long to notice. I was just about to check. So, this is, like, seriously where I think the story starts getting good. Because it's all been, like, exposition up to this point. Oh, this scene breaks my heart. This scene makes me love Dagger so much. This is how I feel. Oh, Dagger just... It's Dagger tries 1 and Dagger tries 2. I just, like, really resonate with her. I wonder if the castle's okay. That was quite a ruckus. Mother went too far. She didn't have to fire the ship, even if she did it to rescue me. I wonder how many people got hurt. I hope the damage wasn't too severe. Some people could have died, like in Evil Forest. Here it is. This is, good stuff. You're in my way, kiddo. Like kids these days. What are you doing? Can't you see what I'm doing? I'm killing the bugs on the crops. That's not terrible. You're killing the bugs? I think that's how I would say it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Bugs are just these little, just like monsters. They'll destroy our crops if you leave them be. I'm like messing up my pitch, but that's okay. Sometimes you like hear in your head what you should sound like, but then like you have to like train your muscles to get there, of course. I think everyone knows that. Oh, an oglop. Oglops eat vegetables? These oglops are like, they're kind of like cockroaches or something. They're supposed to be really gross. Most girls hate oglops. Like, that's just a gender stereotype, but also, like, it's true that so many people do think they're gross. But it's interesting that, like, maybe it was taught, feel that they're gross by society, and that's what this is saying here. Again, I haven't thought about every line in this game. I'm kind of just, like, analyzing it this deeply for the first time ever, even though, like, I've appreciated it many times through. But this is so cool. I didn't remember this whole scene. I remembered the second half of this scene. Dagger tries to. Is that so? It's just that I haven't seen too many of them. Wait, Zidane told me to try and blend in. Maybe I should act like I don't like oglops. I'm taking so long to get through these scenes, but they're so good. They're like my favorite scenes. They're so beautiful. I think that Black Mage Village, which is later, I'll probably spend a shitload of time in just savoring every line. I could stay on every like line of text for like 10 minutes, honestly. When I play music, I tend to hold notes for like an inordinate amount of time. And I think that's my style of game too. I just like really suck in every single line. It's not for everybody. I mean, TikTok's all about like kind of like getting as much content out as possible, but I think I like want to put the brakes on, but not in like a serious way. I want to like put the brakes on in like a very mellow way, like, hey, let's all just take a second, right? Let's just chill. And I hope you're digging the vibes. I hope you feel that, because I feel it right now. I'm feeling like so into this stream. And yeah, you didn't make it to this point, and it's good to know, because this is a crucial part of the story. This is like very key. And I think that there's a lot of subtle things happening here. And I won't spoil it, but I'll talk about it as we get there. I don't want to give in to my brother, but everyone else is making money except for me. Hey, wasn't that customer traveling with? And so already there's like a little bit of a story starting to build here. I won't have to give in if I tell him about them. So this person's not making money because other people in the village are. And this game doesn't really hand you the story always. And I think that's the case with this town. Like, it is overt if you're like really paying attention, but I think if you're just flying through the game, especially as a kid, it's so easy to miss so many of the things that are happening here. But there's a lot. We don't actually go in here yet. We're gonna come back there. We're gonna go this way. And there's no items. Everything to do with Vivi is so good. Nothing. I was just thinking. Ah, I see. You met a girl. And so one of the things I was talking about earlier is that one of the things that makes Zidane different than Cloud or Squall or even other Final Fantasy protagonists is that Cloud or Zidane is like literally a Lothario. Zidane like chases women, and Garnet is like the first person that like I think that Zidane has ever like felt like they could have like a real relationship, and Zidane doesn't know how to like approach a serious relationship, of course. And so there's like so much growth in Zidane in that way. What I was saying is that like it's kind of shitty like who Zidane is at the beginning of the game, but it's just an interesting comparison between him and Cloud and Squall, who are like very quiet and don't do anything. They're very passive in that regard. But Zidane is like, oh, I love Garnet, and here he is implying Vivi met someone. And also implying that Vivi must like girls. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Don't tell me you don't like girls. I don't know, is that homophobic? I don't think so. I think that Zidane would like embrace Vivi no matter what, but is like, again, just like forcing these norms on Vivi. And I said this earlier, but like Zidane grew up in a gang, but like none of the gang members say things like this. And I think that they purposefully wrote Zidane like this because Zidane like thinks that this is what like his gang member friends would want him to be like. He has like created this like perspective that this is how you should act. I think he does evaluate the things that he says and grows in this game. I don't think he does it here though. I think here he's just shitty, to be fair. Vivi's never shitty. Vivi's just awesome, always. I never really thought about stuff like that, of course, because Vivi is just like pure and innocent. I'm always thinking about girls. He's at least blunt. I'm popular with all the ladies in Lindblum. Come to me if you have any girl trouble, okay? Aw, that's like actually sweet. Sure, thanks. Okay, then we need to decide what to do. I'm gonna look for Dagger and Rusty. Would you mind heading back to the inn? Sure, I'll head back. So, what were you staring at? Nothing, but I kept hearing a sound like queh. That's the sound chocobos make. I'll see you back at the inn. Okay. I don't know if I'm reading the chat too much. I'm like so into this. It's like so mesmerizing. It's amazing. Chocobo. It's like honestly experiencing the story in a way that I never have. It's like so deep. I've done it with my friends before and it was pretty amazing. I've just never done it alone. It's kind of powerful because like I'm really processing like a lot about this story. And I've been so excited for this. Forget Steiner. I wonder where Dagger is. Check it out. Oh, Dagger tries harder. Not Dagger tries too. Dagger tries harder. Sounds like Zidane sees himself as an alpha male and everyone else sees him as a nuisance. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely... Well, I don't even know. I think he knows it's a front. Well, actually, what's kind of interesting about Zidane is that he is, like, agile and, like, apparently good at fighting and moving. But, like, yeah, I think it's a front in terms of, like... It's not really who he wants to be. It's what he thinks, like, he needs to be. And I have this coffee now. I'm gonna indulge as we open Dagger Tries Harder. This is one of my favorite scenes. I'll probably say that about like every scene. It's like theater. It's like watching a movie or reading a book, and I think it can be as deep as you want it to be. I said earlier Don Quixote was my favorite book, and I truly believe that like Final Fantasies and like other video games can be as deep as these like great texts. And I think this is one of the great video games, and I think video games as a media are just going to become more immersive and amazing in time. I'm really, really excited for virtual reality video games that are fully immersive. Anyways, so Dagger's trying to learn how to speak like everybody talks instead of like Square. I guess. It's funny because I speak like that. I think I speak like unnecessarily rigidly, but it's like art, kind of like music. I love like speaking legato or staccato, just like a musical line or idea. I must speak with this girl and learn how common folks speak. It's such like a proper sentence. Um, I've been thinking a lot about Shakespeare lately, and I don't know if this game is actually Shakespearean because I'm not a Shakespeare expert, but in Shakespeare you could just analyze one line forever, and this line is really interesting. I must speak with this girl and learn how common folks speak. And so Dagger like knows about privilege and about like how there's like an innate difference between her experience and their experience. So already she's like deeper than Zidane in regard to like understanding like that like her experience isn't the only one. It's like Zidane's like living on just like the surface level. Okay. I must speak with this girl and learn how common folks speak. I should move the story along, but I'm just like savoring it. I'm also just seeing the drop shadow behind the text. That's like a nice touch that I never noticed. Shopkeeper Eve. Welcome. Yes, can we talk for a bit? Talk? What should I say? This would be a good time for a poll. I'm from the country, show me what you're selling. How, like, awkward should Dagger be? I'll say I'm from the country, because no one in the world would say that to open up. Oh, she doesn't even say anything. Yacha, can't you see I'm with a customer? But I just heard something awesome. Awesome, kids are so funny. Can't you see I'm working? Please. I don't mind. Don't mind me. Here's a chance to listen in on some conversation. Thanks, lady. I was gonna say... Oh, we don't get to hear it. I think we go back to the house here. I'm going so slow through this portion of the game, but it's so fun. It's just, like, beautiful. Okay, got Sai too. All I need to do now is keep quiet until the guests leave. Gotta pretend I'm asleep. This game's so weird. Like, that cat is so weird looking. It's not as obvious now. Okay. I thought Steiner might be there. But Steiner's out, like, looking to talk to adults or something. Okay, so... I think we go this way. The music here is so lit. It's so good. Nope. You don't go there. So I was saying earlier, whenever I play Final Fantasy, this is just me, but I normally buy up to the next level of 5th increment. So if I have 5 of something, I'll buy up to 10 of it. I always felt like that gave me more than enough resources, because I like to eventually have 99 of everything. It's always felt really good to me. It's kind of just my own personal style. Everybody's got their own way they play. Oh yeah, I go in here and I visit Dagger trying. Dagger. What's she looking at? Zane? You got a fever or something? Your face is all red. It's nothing. I'm fine. You're acting strange. What? I get it. You changed the way you talk. I wish he said you changed the way you speak. I feel like that'd be better. You're doing great. We're gonna be positive on this channel. Thanks. I did fine in the play, didn't I? Oh yeah. I thought you were Ruby. I'm a fan of Lord Avon's plays. I have seen all of them. Oh, it's so cool. And I've been thinking about how it's been connected all week, and it really is just so good. I Want to Be Your Canary is one of my favorites. And the game starts with her being in it. Is Ruby the young lady with the strange accent? Strange accent. Should I talk more like her? What? No, 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 no. She's really finicky about her speech. She always laughs at us whenever we try to mimic her. So you should just be yourself, Dagger. I should take that advice. Oh, I understand. Alrighty. Same. We need to decide what to do from here. We need to decide what to do from here. Will you go back to the inn? What about you? I'll head back soon. Alrighty. You sound just like a regular village girl. This is just like my Shakespeare class. It's so fun. We used to just like rehearse lines and just talk about Shakespeare and read Shakespeare. I guess that's what you do in a Shakespeare class. It was so good though. I love literature. And I just love learning and like reading new things. So in this game, it's good to have a ton of everything, but we don't particularly need to buy anything right now. If we want to buy extra things, we'll buy it later. And, well, we should see if there's things that we don't own and buy things we have 0 of. Yeah, like feather hats. Like, we should have 4 of these. And, rubber helms, we could probably buy 1 more of. And same with bronze. Yeah, bronze armor. We shouldn't buy more bronze armor. We're gonna find more. It's also like the basic one. Well, more bronze armor could be good when we get to Lindblum. We'll worry about buying extra stuff later. One of everything's fine for now. In the basement of the Baker Mansion in VR, and I heard some random footsteps near me. And I had to take off the headset and chill for the night. Yeah, I mean, it's so real. It's so scary. It's just gonna get more immersive in time. It's just gonna get more and more immersive. And I'm really excited to make virtual reality environments. That's my goal. And I want to do it on stream. I'll just let Steiner be and go back to the end. I asked Vivi to head back. He should be back soon. How do you like this village? Pretty different from the castle, I bet. Yeah, the kids are energetic. There's so many things to see. Never walked around so freely in my life. Where are all the adults, though? We're gonna kind of fly through, because we've been taking so long, but I really love these scenes. And I mean, like, the art is so beautiful. The background here is just, the lighting is so good. But what about Steiner? I have a good plan for crossing Southgate. It's gonna be easy. They're not looking for the rest of us, so we'll just hide you. I remember our first day of Romeo and Juliet book reading in class. Some girl at the back said, "Can't wait to read about teenagers taking drugs and committing suicide." Based. Everyone was like, yeah, she's got a point, god damn it. Yeah, it's so interesting, the stories that become famous, right? I was actually thinking about Romeo and Juliet on the train the other day, and like, I mean, my opinion is that it's one of my less favorite Shakespeare plays. I always liked comedies, mostly. I like Twelfth Night, and I like Midsummer Night's Dream. And I like Hamlet, which is not a comedy, but I think it's amazing. There's other books too that you read in school that are just like, why is this famous as opposed to anything else? You're more interested in how people interpret work. Could mean one thing to me and a totally different thing to you. Here we are. This town's so chill. It's really good. Forget about Rusty. Leave everything to me. Steiner's so funny. Firewood stackings complete. I wait your command. There are people in the army who are like that. It's so weird. I can't even imagine it. It's my job to clean the bar. I'm not flying through this like I said I would. So everybody out in town is very young. There's no adults around, and so everybody's wondering, where are the adults? They don't go out until it's nighttime. Of course, Vivi got taken already, I'm pretty sure. And they're about to go, like, try and find what happened to them. Adelbert Steiner. Oh yeah, Morid. Nay, it is I who should thank you for your assistance. I must make haste. As it turned out, it didn't matter that we snuck into their mansion. The kings were hiding something in their mansion. Oh yeah, he's like regaling Dagger with stories. They're like supposed to be teenagers, which is weird to me, personally. I kind of like just read them as in their 30s. Like that's how I just like sort of, it just makes me more comfortable with video game plots when like it seems like they're just inordinately young. Even though it's a cool thing when you're young for the characters to be your age, but in this case, like, I don't know, it's just more fun that way. Makes me just like feel less conflicted generally and more able to appreciate the work personally. It's just me, you know. I don't try to push it on other people. What's wrong? Am I boring you? Oh no, your story is very interesting. But I'm concerned about Vivi. Why isn't he back yet? You're right, he is late. I'm not worried about Steiner, but Vivi, I'm not so sure about. Let's go look. Okay, moving out. There's like kind of a lot to do in this village, but I'm gonna just skip through it all because we're gonna play the game just sort of how my heart says to play it. Wait a minute. The last time I saw Vivi, he was standing over there. I love the sound of chocobos. I'm really excited to play Chocobo Hot and Cold. That might be like where we end up stopping tonight. I might just play Chocobo Hot and Cold for a little bit. Vivi said he heard a chocobo here. Sniff, sniff. Is someone crying? I have to get all the way through the next section of the game if I do that, so we gotta kind of move if we want to get that far. I am gonna play it for like another 3 hours though, so it's pretty reasonable to believe I can get that far. It's coming from the hole. Vivi, you need to stay here. Are you hurt? No. Don't worry, we'll get you out. We're gonna save Vivi. Let's go do it. Ready for Final Fantasy IX Remake? Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Also, hello, and thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you being here. I am ready for it. I'm excited for the remake, and like, I think it'd be really cool to see what they do with that. What's going on in this village? It could be amazing. It could be so amazing, because this is definitely like one of my favorite games of all time, for sure. There's got to be a way into the underground somewhere. Let's look for one. Thanks for joining, though. I really hope that you're enjoying the stream so far. And I hope that you love Final Fantasy IX as much as I do. It's such a great game. It's much more contemplative than a lot of games that come out nowadays, I think. But it seems like such a quiet village. But I think one of the reasons that I feel that, I think you can get that sound to play again. Nah. I was hoping that the chocobo sound would play again. I just want to see how they do Zidane's tail realistic 3D. And what's funny is that Zidane only uses the tail once throughout the whole game. And it's actually going to be coming up soon. I wish they can't even push out Final Fantasy VII Remake too. Yeah, right? The next Final Fantasy VII Remake game is going to be so good. It's going to be the part of the game where it really opens up, and it's disc 2 of Final Fantasy VII, and that's when you like get to start going all around. Like once you get outside of Midgar, the game gets so good. All the Final Fantasy games, I feel like the ending of the game is just like so amazing. Even though the beginnings are often very memorable, which is the case with this game. It will be interesting to see a remake. And for anybody else who might be new, I am trying to hit 50 followers, so if you end up enjoying the content, it would really help me out if you toss me a follow, but never feel pressure. Just like a nice thing that kind of makes me feel like my sort of content is appreciated. Um, but thanks just like for joining, and especially for the people who write in chat. You're just so appreciated because I feel like it makes my content more natural to have just like a dialogue with the people who are in it, and gives me a lot to work with in terms of topics for conversation. Helps me like flow from topic to topic. Just a regular underground storage facility. I feel like storage facilities aren't regular in general. How many underground storage facilities has Sedan been in? I straight up cried when Barrett said, "This wouldn't be the first time I spat in Fate's eye." Barrett for president. Barrett's so cool. Definitely a great character. I love the dynamic between Barrett and Dine a lot. I really love that like backstory. When you're in the Coral prison, it's so good. I'm really excited to see what they do there. I'm also excited for snowboarding in the next segment of Final Fantasy VII Remake. In terms of a Final Fantasy IX remake, I'd be excited for Chocobo Hot and Cold if they remade that in a somehow more immersive way, or just Chocobo hunting in general, Chocobo graph hunting. That's gonna be really fun. Everything to do with Chocobos is my favorite, even though I'm very conflicted because I'm vegan. Because I don't like the idea of like people riding horses, but I have to admit that like people using chocobos in Final Fantasy to like ride around is so cute. It's so cute. And Final Fantasy Tactics, it's so cool, like the chocobo knights, but I just feel so conflicted because I don't like that generally, you know? So we're rescuing Vivi. We're gonna like kind of fly through this part in terms of the dialogue because we've been taking so much time and we're past the parts that I'm like obsessed with, so we're just gonna fly through this and I can summarize the plot as we go forward here. This is such a good game though. Final Fantasy IX is just so unique. So if they remake it, I really hope it's good. And I think they totally could do a good job of it. I love how many Moogles are like hiding in barrels or just like slightly hidden, even though they're obvious too. It just like adds a level of cuteness. I have a favor to ask. We'll take the letter even though we already failed the quest 10 minutes into the game. We missed the very first letter is your first missable letter. And if you miss it, then you fail the whole quest. Old games were not messing around. Old games were not forgiving. I don't know how you all like your coffee, but I'm currently, I have 2 coffees. I have a hot coffee and an iced coffee. And, I used to go to work and I had like an almost 2-hour drive to work. I think we go up here to get that. I had like an almost 2-hour drive to work, and in the morning I'd get 2 coffees. I'd get 2 large coffees, and one was hot and the other was iced, because hot coffees from cafes are always too hot. And so I'd get the iced coffee and drink it, and then the hot coffee would be cooled enough by the time I got to work. I'd have a second coffee, because I also got there so early. I chose to do like 4 10-hour days. It was pretty sweet that our job was allowed to do that. You think your favorite Final Fantasy protagonist is Yuna in Final Fantasy X-2 or Noctis? Wow, yeah. Those are really... I feel like those are unique favorite characters. Or, well, protagonist favorites. I guess if you're going by protagonist, Sedan is probably one of my favorites. Well, I guess protagonists are all main characters, so who does that get to include in this game? I don't even know who my favorite character in this game is, because I genuinely love all the characters so deeply. But like, I really think that Aiko, who's the last character that you get... Oh wait, no, the second to last character you get. I think Aiko is probably my favorite, and we're not gonna get there tonight. I think of the characters that we get to tonight, Sedaine might be. No, probably Vivi is my favorite. Iron Helm. Like, this is such a cool environment. It's just a regular underground storage facility. You all have probably been in one or two of those in your life. You know, I mean, this is a standard layout for an underground storage facility. I was actually thinking about having an underground storage facility dug underneath our house, under the basement. I was thinking about doing like 3 or 4 levels, so it could be like a D&D dungeon. And I'd like put like different creatures on each level to like of increasing difficulty to guard like emeralds or something. I'll get you out. Why would they stuff you in a box? How could they? How could they? Yeah, that's the real question. How could they? And like, how could they stuff you in a box? It's like that literally happened. That happened in real life. And this game, I don't know if it's alluding to actual human trafficking, but like, I feel like a lot of people don't really realize the depth of what they're talking about there. A lot of people like fly through this part of the game, or this game in general, but like literally living beings just being shipped for war. However, Vivi is supposedly different, but that's like what the whole game deals with. Is Vivi different than these other mages? We'll talk later. Hold on, it's open. I like Noctis because he's the typical edgy protagonist, but he's not one note. I wasn't knocking your choice of favorite character because I think Noctis is sick. I think Noctis is really cool. I really loved Final Fantasy 15. I dug into the aesthetic and like I try to love most games that I play, so I liked it, and I like Yuna a lot too. I just feel like I think that a lot of people that I've noticed don't really like Noctis that much, and I think that Yuna's also just a less popular protagonist than some of the other like sort of main characters throughout most of Final Fantasy. I don't know who my favorite is, frankly. It could be Aiko. I just have such a soft spot for Aiko, and I do like Vivi and Zidane. I didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't say anything. I liked actually a couple of the characters in Final Fantasy 13, even though it wasn't a great game. I did like several of the characters, even though a lot of people didn't. I want to try Final Fantasy 12 again. It's been a long time since I played it. They put you in that box? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're safe. So maybe you gotta do something next time. You should try screaming back or whatever. Screaming? Yeah, like, get off me, you scumbag. Scumbag? Oh, I don't know anybody who's like a Yuna disliker. I don't know who's a disliker. I just think that she's less popular than a lot of other characters is all. Oh, whoops, it switched off of the game. I need to ask you a favor, Vivi. I want to check out what's ahead. I know you might not be thrilled with the idea, but Zidane, I want to know more too. Look, what is that? Right, we'll all go together. Oh, I love the teamwork.